killing the king of dragon race. In Rudinatos' past life, he remembered the moment when Leon Krier said, "Don't follow me, go back to your comrades. I can easily kill the delusive dragon in her current weakened state. You'll only be a distraction if you come with me." Rudinatos responded, "I don't want to though, even if I die it's my life, why do you care?" Leon Krier replied, "You should know your place. You'll die a meaningless death if things go wrong." Rudinatos smirked. "Whoa, so now you care about me?" Leon Krier said seriously, "Please just..." Suddenly, Rudinatos interrupted, "You can feel it too, right? This is the delusive dragon's mana." Leon Krier acknowledged, "It's this overbearing, even though we're so far away that my mana detection can't even sense her location. Moreover, your comrades have weakened too. Do you understand what you have to do now?" Rudinatos nodded. "Yeah, but you want me to back you up, right?" And he gave her a thumbs up. Leon Krier sighed. "Fine. Just do whatever you want, you bastard." In the present, Rudinatos reflected, "I might have acted tough back then, but in truth, I felt like throwing up because of the delusive dragon's mana. Of course, I'm a lot stronger now, but the mana intensity is on a whole other level from my past life. I haven't even met her in person, but her mana has already surpassed the lightning dragon's. Moreover, Linnea is nearly out of mana. The presence of the delusive dragon alone will be difficult for her to bear. I've also used big techniques twice already. We're definitely going to die if we fight her right now." Rudinatos called out, "Linnea, listen, let's retreat for now." Suddenly, Puppet Master Alvar Riddle appeared and shouted, "How dare you leave without my permission? You want to run away after making this mess? No, I won't let that happen. You have to pay for destroying everything I've worked my whole life for. Don't even think about escaping from my grasp with those skills. I'll tear you apart even if I have to use up the hundreds of souls that I've collected." Rudinatos sneered, "You should have just died when it was your time to die, you son of a bitch. Look at you, causing all this nonsense because of your senile brain." Puppet Master Alvar Riddle fumed, "How dare this arrogant bastard? How dare you say that after destroying my dear forest and long-cherished dream? Killing you and feeding you to the beasts won't be enough punishment." The delusive dragon Lausia appeared and said, "Oh my. When did this forest's owner change? I never allowed that to happen," as she hugged Puppet Master Alvar Riddle. Senior Linnea Sulkit, in shock, thought to herself, "The delusive dragon, Lausia." The delusive dragon, Lausia, mused, Alvar Riddle, I read your shadow, Bishop of the Dragon God Church. Kek, what a funny religion. There have always been people worshipping the dragons, but that's not the case for you, my friend. You just joined this weird religion because you wanted eternal life. And that body belongs to one of Vanar's successors, right? You shouldn't steal from others. Hey, you also said some very interesting things to me while I was asleep. I should give you a little scolding." Puppet Master Alvar Riddle panicked. "Delusive dragon Lausia, you, a dragon king, should know, right? That kid over there is the second hero, the successor of Vanar, the dragon god's nemesis, the world's abomination. He has to be killed right here and now." The delusive dragon, Lausia, was in awe. "Oh my, really?" Puppet Master Alvar Riddle confirmed. "Yes, that is so. It was that atrocious hero who killed the lightning dragon while you were asleep. He's the first one we have to kill for the sake of the dragon god. He has already used up a great amount of mana while fighting against me, so you can end his life immediately. We who understand the greater cause." The delusive dragon, Lausia, smirked. "But you know, Alvar, bad kids need to be punished first." She kissed him on the cheek, and suddenly, he was blasted away. Rudinatos tried to hold his ground as Alvar Riddle disintegrated, leaving only his sword behind, and the ground was scraped away. The delusive dragon, Lausia, then said, "There we go. Now it's your turn. What was your name again, hero?" Rudinatos thought to himself, "Dragon breath. It has very high destructive power, but it's not enough to instantly kill someone like the Dragon Church's bishop." Did she adjust the power level to kill the person who was planning on taking over her body? I didn't even feel the slightest bit of murderous intent. Something strange. That attitude and expression of someone who had lost their mind. It's completely different from the being that I saw in my past life. If Alvar Riddle had successfully taken over the delusive dragon's body in my past life, and if the delusive dragon we killed back then was under Alvar's influence. So this is the real delusive dragon. The delusive dragon Lausia asked, "Why aren't you answering?" "Don't tell me, are you mute with that handsome face?" Rudinatos thought to himself, Linnea is using stealth right now. I don't feel any hostility from her, so we could use this opportunity to get out of here. Let's play along for now. Rudinatos said to her, Rudinatos. The delusive dragon Lucia smiled and said, Aha, a cute name befitting a hero like you. It's much better than Venar. Same goes for that expression of yours. I can feel a soul inside you that has experienced countless adventures. A bit complicated, but pure. It's to my taste. You've awakened my interest. Now, won't you share one of those awesome memories with me? Rudinatos suddenly attacked the delusive dragon Lucia and said, Don't cross the line. Today's our first time meeting. The delusive dragon Lucia replied, How strict of you. What? Are you worried that I'll kill you immediately? I won't, okay? If that were my goal, I would have eliminated that young lady over there who's enjoying a round of hide-and-seek first. She's your friend, isn't she? That's why I let her be. As she pointed at Senior Linnea Selkit, Rudinatos responded, Even if a dragon king, the cause of all disasters, says that, I am inclined not to believe it in the slightest. The delusive dragon Lucia explained, Controlling the human population through disasters, that's the job the dragon god entrusted us with. However, not all dragons are the same, little hero. I'm not as ignorant as that lightning dragon Harma, at least. I love humans, and I don't want to cause them any pain. I just want everyone to dream a happy dream as they wish and desire to live. And I want to swim in that endless ocean of dreams forever. That would make both you and me happy. What do you think? Do you want to dream a sweet dream with me? Rudinatos suddenly grew angry and said, Get lost. Everything will be better off with you dead. The delusive dragon Lucia warned, You better not challenge me, hero. The population adjustment threshold doesn't always need to be reached. I don't want to take too many lives right now. I'll give you a head start of 2 months. Take your loved ones and run. Senior Linnea Selkit, shocked, thought to herself, She broke my stealth spell with one move. I'm nearly out of mana right now. What should I do? The delusive dragon, Lucia, continued, I'm going to destroy the city near this forest, so make sure to run to a place far away. Rudinatos attacked the delusive dragon Lucia and shouted, You're going to kill everyone in the end anyway. How dare you pretend to give us a chance, you lizard? The delusive dragon Lucia sighed, Ha! I guess you're still too young to understand my generosity. I don't want to die, and I have a job to do now that I'm awake. Put that sword down. Otherwise, I'll have no choice but to kiss you goodnight too. Senior Linnea Selkit suddenly shouted, Dad! The almighty Ice Spirit King Feldroa suddenly said, Rud, I'm going to connect to Linnea's soul. This is our only chance. Rudinatos replied, I know. Senior Linnea Selkit cast her spell Soul Resonance. Rudinatos shouted, Linnea. Senior Linnea Selkit said, I've got your hand. Suddenly, Senior Linnea Selkit's foot was caught by the delusive dragon Lucia, and she gasped, Ugh! But they managed to escape. The delusive dragon Lucia said softly, Go, run away from me to a place far away, my dear children. Rudinatos and Senior Linnea Selkit were able to run away, but Senior Linnea Selkit's legs were corrupted by the delusive dragon Lucia. A few moments later, Adeline Creer said, I'm sorry, I know it's your day off. The doctor replied, It's fine, Captain. There are no holidays in a ward after all. Adeline Creer asked, How is she? He explained, The magic poison has spread, so it'll be difficult for her to move for a while, but her life is not at risk. She should regain consciousness in a day or two. However, it'll take some time for her mana pass to recover from the poison's erosion. Of course, she's not allowed to use mana until then. Is this child also an intern at the Dragon Annihilation Troupe? Adeline Creer answered, No, she's with the Bells of Radiance. Ah, I should contact the Guildmaster of Bells of Radiance. I knew I shouldn't have sent him alone. It's such a mess right now. Renee Nastia entered the room and said, Captain. Adeline Creer looked back and asked, Renee? What is it? Renee Nastia replied, Rudd is waiting for you in your office. Adeline Creer said, Oh my, time flies. Renee Nastia offered, I'll take care of nursing Linnea so you two can leave her to me. Adeline Creer smiled and said, Oh my, I'm so proud of you. We'll leave her in your care then. Make sure to let us know when she wakes up. Renee Nastia responded, I will, as they left the room. Renee Nastia looked at Senior Linnea Selkit with sadness. She suddenly went near Senior Linnea Selkit and gently rested her face on her chest. In another scene, Adeline Creer said to Rudinatos, So you mean the delusive dragon has woken up from her slumber in the forest of darkness? And she will destroy Seminel in 2 months? Donatos replied, yes. Seminel is the only city in the vicinity of the Forest of Darkness. Adeline Creer sighed. I know you well enough to know that you'd never joke about such things, and I also realize that for something to injure you two to such an extent can't be normal. But if your claims are true, even if I were to announce it to the whole continent, not a single country would do anything about it. The wilderness is abandoned land, and you know what people think of Seminel, the only city in the wilderness. Not only are there countries that don't recognize it as a real city, but they've also made trading with the city illegal. Furthermore, the Kingdom of Liberal, which the Dragon Annihilation Troop hails from, has been hoping for Seminel's fall for a long time. Officially, the wilderness is a part of Liberal, so naturally, this growing city is a thorn in their side. Donato said, it doesn't matter. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince promised to support me. The same goes for Great Master and Master Daniel. It's the same situation as the fight against the Lightning Dragon. Rather than sacrificing a large number of ordinary soldiers, wouldn't it be more efficient to gather a handful of strong individuals for the fight? Fortunately, the delusive dragon uses psychological spells, so she's not as offensive or aggressive as the Lightning Dragon. Of course, what will happen if her plans to destroy Seminel get thwarted remains to be seen. More importantly, the individual we need to deal with as soon as possible is the second bishop of the Dragon Church, Puppet Master Oliver Riddle. That bastard lost quite a bit of his power. Although he managed to disappear with the delusive dragon's attack, I'm pretty sure he's still alive. Since he has lost his original goal, he'll either stick to the delusive dragon to survive or move on his own, motivated by his own grudge. The guard made with the sky-piercing technique's 6th-generation successor's body. He'll be a difficult enemy to deal with as he'll continue to regenerate using the hundreds of souls trapped in his heart. Additionally, we need to prepare for the huge number of undead he can summon. Adeline Creer said, I really want to ask you how you ended up fighting with someone from the Dragon God Church and came across the delusive dragon in the middle of the wilderness, but I won't ask any more questions as promised. I promise to believe every word you say a single time after all. But still, answer me this, the nature of the delusive dragon and the attack in 2 months. Are you certain about that? Donatos replied, yes, I am. A dragon king does not lie. Lies are for the weak. Adeline Creer said, all right then, there is no time to waste. Once this news reaches the Liberal Royal Palace, those geezers won't stay quiet. Since it could mean the Dragon Annihilation Troop will have to move independently, let's head to Seminel right now. I guess it would be better to have the Sky Sword Immortal accompany us, right? Donato said, yeah, I will send word. Adeline Creer suddenly asked, how's your body? You haven't even gotten an hour of sleep since you came back. Renee is worrying about you. Should we depart tomorrow? We can also watch Lenia's condition for a while longer if we do. Donato said, no, I'm fine. Things are happening a lot sooner than expected. In a different scene, a lady said, found you. Sweetie, have you been hiding here? Senior Linnea Selkett said, hee, you found me. It's your turn to hide now, Mom. Her mom said, no more hide and seek for today. It's getting dark, so we shouldn't be wandering around now, should we? Senior Linnea Selkett pouted, humph, but you find me way too quickly every time. I'm going to hide further away next time. I'll surprise you, Mom. I'm serious. Even you won't be able to find me. Suddenly, she stopped and said, huh? Whoa, what's this? A voice echoed, Linnea. Don't Linnea. And the voice shouted, Linnea. Senior Linnea Selkett thought to herself, these odd memories of my childhood? My childhood memories have always been unclear, like they were buried in SS now. Mom's face looks really similar to mine. But I don't remember what happened after that. What exactly did I see? Puppet Master Alva Riddle sneered, you're Ellie Selkett's puppet. Senior Linnea Selkett suddenly woke up with a gasp. She sat up and said, this is... Then she asked the almighty Ice Spirit King Feldroa, Dad, I'm curious about something. Her head suddenly hurt and she winced. Ack! Renee Nastia suddenly arrived and exclaimed, Linnea! Did you wake up? Are you all right? She held a hot kettle with her bare hands. Senior Linnea Selkett asked, Renee, where? Renee Nastia replied, the Dragon Annihilation Troop's base. You've been unconscious for 3 days. The priest said that you need to rest for at least a month. And don't use mana if possible. Just relax and take care of your health. Senior Linnea Selkett said, all right. Renee Nastia continued, Do you know how shocked I was to see you in such a seriously injured state? And Rudd left without saying goodbye again. Senior Lenny Selkett said, sorry for making you worry. Where did Rudd go? Renee Nastia replied, he went to see Manel. He said they're preparing for some big battle or something. Champieff, I don't mind him going, but he could have at least rested for a day before leaving. Senior Lenny Selkett said, I see I've burdened many people around me. Suddenly, Leon Creer arrived and said, you're up, Senior Linnea? Senior Lenny Selkett was surprised. Leon Creer said, stay in bed. I just dropped by for a short while before leaving. These are recovery supplies that Hineth and Balak have sent. Most of the troop members, excluding the guards outside, have already left for Seamanel. Don't unnecessarily move around and focus on recovering. Senior Linnea Selkett said, but my guild is. Leon Creer replied, we've already got in touch with the guild master of Bells of Radiance, so just stay here with this thief, got it? Renee Nastia exclaimed, what? That's offensive. Leon Creer retorted, what do you mean offensive? Do you think I wouldn't notice that you went through the snack supply? Renee Nastia stammered, I didn't. Seriously, so narrow-minded. Senior Linnea Selkett called out, Leon? Once you reach Seminel, could you tell Rudd that I'm sorry? Leon Creer sighed, seriously, these people. No, am I your messenger or something? As he walked away, he added, apologize to him personally when he returns. You're going to say the exact same things to each other anyway, so why bother making me do it? Renee Nastia said, Linnea, let's have lunch first. You have to eat well to recover fast. Senior Linnea Selkett responded, all right, thanks. Renee, do you need my help with anything? Renee Nastia quickly replied, no, just keep resting. A few moments later, outside, Leon Creer said to the guards, then I'll leave the mansion in your care. They replied, yes, miss. He thought to himself, it's the first time so many troop members have left the building at once. Did something big happen? His friend arrived saying, oi, sorry for being late. I'll take over now. What a surprise. To think that even you could be late. His friend replied, oh well, I had something urgent to do. In a different scene, Renee Nastia was on the phone with Rudd Donatos saying, and that's why we made cookies all day long, hoping that she wouldn't say mean things again since we filled her snack supplies back up. Rudd Donatos said, it's your fault for stealing to begin with. Renee Nastia protested, what do you mean by stealing? Sharing is caring, right, Linnea? She's right next to me. Do you want to talk to her? Rudd Donatos replied, no, let's save that for later. I'm a bit busy right now. Renee Nastia pouted, why do I always have to be the one to reach out to you first? Rudd Donatos said, anyway, I'm going to hang up now. I'll buy some delicious things on my way back, so make sure to stay safe till then. Renee Nastia quickly added, something delicious? Don't buy some weird and boring snacks like last time. There's this snack that's trending right now in the capital called. Suddenly, Rudd Donatos hung up the phone. Adeline Creer said, the situation isn't urgent enough for you to hang up that fast. Rudd Donatos shrugged. It's fine. She'll talk all day if I let her. Adeline Creer said, oh, all right, let's go then. The Sky Sword Immortal has arrived at the city gates. Rudd Donatos remarked, to think there'd be a phone in a tavern. You're more than what meets the eye, Seamanel. Adeline Creer agreed. I know, right? I mean, this city has been around for about a century after all. They say that the early wilderness wanderers gathered to build this castle and this city. They also founded an organization called the Rangers to establish a minimum level of order and discipline. However, although they've got a good foundation, the city is still in its early stages. Their wariness towards strangers is particularly high due to the large increase in refugees following a series of disasters. Because of this situation, I was worried they wouldn't even willingly open their doors for us. But judging by how cooperative they were, it seems like they were hoping for outside support to deal with the rampant dragon activities. Claire Mason suddenly said, oh my, look at you walking so leisurely, even running would be too slow. As Daniel Gold waved at them and Ain Bryce, the Sky Sword Immortal, looked away. Adeline Creer muttered, ugh, why did that have to come along? Ain Bryce, the Sky Sword Immortal, snapped, tat. How dare you call me that? Daniel Gold greeted Rudd Donatos. Long time no see, Rudd. You've grown a bit since we last saw each other. By the time you graduate, you and I will have to fight to see who's taller. Rudd Donatos replied, I've told you everything you need to know via the Heavenly Spirit, so it really hasn't been that long. Thank you for coming all the way here. Rudd Donatos then spoke to Ain Bryce, The Sky Sword Immortal. Great Master? Bryce looked away and said, "Yeah, let's head to the castle right away." Donatos commented, "It looks like he has conflicted feelings on this matter because of the puppet master." Well, even I was shocked, for him as her direct disciple. Suddenly, a person said, "Excuse me, strangers. The Lord of the Castle has agreed to an in-person meeting." A few moments later, a different person said, "Welcome to the city of Seminole. I'm the Lord of Seminole, Mikhail Gates. It's my first time welcoming strangers into my castle as guests, so please don't judge our mistakes too harshly." Adeline Creer said, "Lord Gates, we already informed you of the reason for our visit in writing beforehand. Can we take the fact that you opened the castle gates for us as a sign of your cooperation?" He replied, "Captain of the Dragon Annihilation Troop, you acknowledge me as the lord of this city, unlike other countries like Liberal that regard me as nothing more than the head of a criminal organization. It's my duty, as the city lord, to protect this place. You've probably already seen it, but the villages just outside the city walls are now empty due to the recent increase in attacks by dragons and other monsters. All the surviving civilians took refuge inside the castle. Fortunately, Seminole has enough resources through the magic stone mines to cope with the current situation. However, dragons have been constantly making their way down from the northern forest and targeting the city itself. The number of casualties is enormous. If we continue this war of attrition, we will eventually run out of resources. On top of that, we lost contact with a group of rangers that we sent to the northern forest to scout the situation. That was when you, the Dragon Slayers, came to us. We had no choice but to receive you with open arms. The guildmaster of a guild famous for having the strongest dragon slayers in the empire and a hero who has officially been recognized by the imperial family are willing to help us. The cause behind all these incidents, am I correct in assuming you are here to subdue that thing hiding in the northern forest?" Donatos responded, "In 2 months, the delusive dragon will attack Seminole." Lord Mikhail Gates murmured, "One of the 7 dragon kings, you say? It looks like we're heading down the path of destruction like the Caliban kingdom, instead of taking a step toward our long-cherished wish of Seminole being recognized as a city-state." He then declared, "I will cooperate. I hereby grant you access to every part of my territory and allow you to station yourselves within the castle so you can fight against the delusive dragon. If necessary, I will spare no effort in providing you with troops and supplies, so please, make sure to defeat the delusive dragon, dear warriors." Adeline Creer said, "Lord Gates, there is no need to go that far." Donatos interrupted, "No, that's not it. I think you're misunderstanding something here. Does the subjugation of one of the 7 dragon kings seem like a piece of cake to you? Do you really think we came here because we need Seminole's cooperation? Of course, our ultimate goal is to subjugate the delusive dragon. However, if that had been our only goal, Seminole's well-being would have been the least of our worries, and we would have headed straight to the Forest of Darkness with as much preparation as possible. Why do you think we came all the way here to make a meaningless request for cooperation? It's because not a single country on this continent gives a damn about Seminole. They're probably hoping for Seminole's downfall. In a situation like this, where we cannot expect any support from other countries, we have taken up Seminole's protection as our primary goal. Seminole's protection comes before the subjugation of the delusive dragon. Shouldn't we be the ones receiving the cooperation request? Even that arrogant government of the generous Alpea Empire gave out rewards for the subjugation of the lightning dragon." Adeline Creer softly said, Donatos continued seriously, "A whole squad of outsiders is willing to fight to their deaths, but you act like you've done us an amazing favor by letting us into the city." Lord Mikhail Gates hesitated, then asked, "What do you want then, Lord Gates?" Donatos showed off his arms and said, "Now we're talking." A few moments later, Lord Mikhail Gates's friend muttered, "I can't believe that scoundrel is considered the hero of our generation. I understand the point about the magic stones being valuable goods, but what's his real purpose in bringing in a band of thieves as troops?" Lord Mikhail Gates replied, "What can we even do? This is our only option. Let's see if that hero can protect Seminole." Claire Mason called out, "Yo, Rudd! Acting all tough in there. What a smart guy you are, scamming the Lord with a straight face." Daniel Gold countered, "It's not a scam, Senior. Rudd just demanded fair compensation for our work." Donatos added, "A lot of people take heroes to be some kind of unpaid workers." Claire Mason praised, "You did well, you really did. You should take what you deserve." Adeline Creer complained, "You should have told me earlier. Do you know how anxious I was?" And Bryce, the Sky Sword Immortal, interjected, now that the negotiations are over, we should start preparing for the next 2 months we'll be staying here. That so-called puppet master might even make his move first. Donatos agreed. That's right. He's also just an executive of the Dragon God Church. So, it'll be difficult for him to act against the delusive dragon a second time. There's no harm in being more careful. And Bryce, the Sky Sword Immortal, said, good, let's go and look around the castle walls first. We can also get rid of the pests that have gathered there. Daniel Gold responded, yes, master. Claire Mason asked Adeline Creer, Adeline, want to go out for a drink with me? She replied, no thanks. Rudd, where are you going? Donatos answered, Farama. I have to go pick up a weapon I had made for me. Half a day will be more than enough if I go to Shirin with the return stone and use the warp gate from there. I've prepared the money too. She said, all right, stay safe. Almighty Ice Spirit King Feldroa commented, return stones, how convenient. I'm telling you, human magic engineering is advancing very quickly. But why don't we directly go to Farama? Wouldn't that be more convenient? Donatos explained. In the end, return stones are just magic stones with space magic. The further you want to travel, the larger the stone has to be. That's why every capital has a huge magic stone portal called a warp gate. Almighty Ice Spirit King Feldroa remarked, you really chose the right time to be born, Donatos. If you had been born a century earlier, you would have died tragically in a shipwreck due to a volcanic eruption. Back in those days, low-efficiency movement magic was slower than a horse, and one had to use the sun for orientation. Rudd interrupted, slow down, or you'll run out of words, Feldroa muttered. Bastard. At the Liberal Kingdom's capital, Shirin, Donatos observed, they're expensive, but they're indeed efficient. All right, the warp gate is. He trailed off, sweating. Should I stop by the Dragon Annihilation Troops base? What did she want me to buy? C.R. Feldroa teased, you have become a typical father now too. Rudd snapped, shut up. Feldroa suggested, buy something for Linnea while you're at it. Rudd sighed, cheese. Internally he grumbled, what's so nice about these sugar clumps anyway? In a different scene, blood splattered on the grass as someone muttered, I wonder when that bastard will finally grow up. Senior Linnea Selkett and Renee Nastia lay wounded on the grass. A few moments earlier, Senior Linnea Selkett thought to herself, I really can't even summon the smallest of wind spirits. If my recovery takes too long, I won't even be able to join the delusive dragon subjugation. She could have easily killed us, so why did she only poison me to the point where I can't fight? And she said that I was my mother's puppet. In the end, I couldn't talk to Rudd or Dad about IIT. If those absurd words turn out to be true, see you. Suddenly, Puppet Master Alva Riddle appeared and said, found you, Ellie's puppet. I can smell you. It's the smell that the delusive dragon's mana infused into your ankle. Do you know how many centuries I've lived buried beneath that horrible mana? I can even smell it across the ocean. Now, I suggest you come with me quietly. Senior Linnea Selkett asked, Alva Riddle, did you come to kill me? Alva Riddle responded, you're right in a sense, but not completely. My heart aches to see your dead body when I think about the puppets you destroyed. But because of that, I need everybody I can get my hands on. If you, the one who stole a piece of Ellie Selkett's soul, are the Great Spirit's puppet, you'll be worth using. Why do you think I went this far to break in like this to avoid displeasing Lausia? The first one who picks up the abandoned puppet is the one who owns it. Renee Nastia suddenly shouted, Linnea, get down! She used her magic to push Senior Linnea Selkett toward the window. As they fell together, Senior Linnea Selkett screamed, Renee, run away! Renee Nastia ordered, stay still. You'll only aggravate your injury if you try to forcibly use mana. They both landed safely and Renee asked, can you stand? Let's get away first. Suddenly, Alva Riddle also jumped and yelled, you, damned KD! Slashed Renee Nastia's back. Senior Linnea Selkett screamed, Renee! Alva Riddle sneered, how dare a mere elf child look down on me? Rushing to Renee's side, Senior Linnea Selkett cried, no, don't you dare harm her! She prayed to herself, please, it doesn't matter which spirit, just answer my call. Alva Riddle snarled, shut up! If it hadn't been for you and that warrior bastard! He struck her in the back, making her gasp in pain. He continued, no matter how damaged I am from the delusive dragon's attack, how could the puppet master Alva Riddle be so easy to attack? It's an insult to let a kid like you land a hit on me, Senior Linnea Selkett retorted. So what, you stinky old geezer? Renee Nastia shouted, Go die if you're that embarrassed, Alva Riddle spat. Says the piece of trash that's basically dead. Get lost, Senior Linnea Selkett cried out. Renee, Alva Riddle coldly said, I don't know if you'll be as useful as Griselda, but it doesn't matter now. I'll pay you back for how you have shamed me. He grabbed Senior Linnea Selkett's hair, and she gasped in pain. Alva Riddle continued, I look forward to meeting that hero while possessing your body. I wonder what kind of face he'll make. Even he couldn't have predicted my trip to Shirin, since there's no way you told him about being your mother's puppet. Now let's go. Say goodbye to your fake soul. He began dragging her away, and she groaned in agony. Renee Nastia thought to herself, I'm not scared of dying. I'm scared of being left alone after failing to protect what I love. I don't want to helplessly cry because of my lacking strength. That's why I tried so hard with such determination. She then sat up, her eyes filled with resolve, and said, that hand, she thought, to become as strong as Rudd. With newfound strength, she attacked Alva Riddle and shouted, Let go of her right now! Alva Riddle, infuriated, threw Senior Linnea Selkett aside and roared. This rat seriously can't comprehend that I'm out of her league. Just die quietly. Despite the pain, Renee Nastia gritted her teeth and thought, Linnea, at least her. She shouted, I won't let you take her, and struck Alva Riddle with her butter knife. Alva Riddle seethed, This weak, how dare you? Die, go to hell. Renee Nastia, defiant to the end, retorted, You, Daddy. Alva Riddle screamed, You damn. Senior Linnea Selkett shouted, Stop. Suddenly, ice spikes appeared and impaled Puppet Master Alva Riddle. He began to decay, groaning in pain. Renee Nastia, still clutching the butter knife, held her ground as Alva Riddle, barely clinging to life, rasped, You. Rudd Donato suddenly arrived, catching Renee just in time. Alva Riddle gasped, Cuke, K-Cuke, darn, why are you here? How did you know? Perhaps the dragon god warned you. But if you think this is the end, I will come back with Lausia's generosity and chase you down. Senior Linnea Selkett cried out, Renee. Struggling to stay conscious, urged, Rudd, call Dad. I'll somehow. But before she could finish, the almighty Ice Spirit King Feldroa intervened, using his magic. Her soul has been damaged, Feldroa said gravely. Right now it'll be impossible to heal her body, even with magic and potions. Rudd Donatos, overwhelmed with guilt, questioned himself. Where did it all start going wrong? Why did Alva Riddle come for Linnea? Revenge, a body, it should have been me. Is there something I don't know about? Was it my fault for leaving Linnea behind alone? Linnea, sensing his turmoil, called out, Are you listening to me? Rudd, still lost in thought, continued to berate himself. No, I should have never brought Renee here to begin with. Linnea, determined and desperate, shouted, Rudd Donatos, the Spirit Stone. Take out the Spirit Stone I gave you. Rudd, snapping back to the moment, hesitated. The Spirit Stone? Linnea insisted. We have to try everything. Do you want to send her off like this? The Spirit Stone I gave you before the Lightning Dragon subjugation. Use that as a medium to hold down Renee's soul that's trying to return to the spirit world. There's no time to waste. Hurry. Feldroa, cautious but understanding, intervened. Linnea, I understand how you and Rudd feel, but that is an act against the laws of nature. You shouldn't break a taboo just because you can't accept her fate. On top of that, in your current condition. Linnea, unwavering, replied, I don't care. The passage between the spirit world and the real world that spirits use to move between dimensions. As the Spirit King's daughter, I can enter that passage. I'm not affected by the mana path there either. I can retrieve Renee's soul with the help of the Spirit Stone. It's worth a try. Rudd, torn between hope and fear, questioned, So you want to turn into a spirit and enter that passage? If you get lost in there, you won't be able to return. Moreover, time passes differently there. Linnea, resolute, affirmed, Rudd, I know that. A family has to stay together. They shouldn't be torn apart. Rudd asked, So you're confident that you'll make it? Feldroa, concerned, called out, Rudd! Linnea responded, Yes, I am. So please believe in me too, Dad. Feldroa, with a heavy heart, conceded, If that is what the two of you want, I can only help you to the best of my abilities. He then opened a dimensional gap, saying, Linnea, I've opened a dimensional gap. You can enter now. You have to come back out if you feel your soul slipping away. Got it? Linnea, determined, said, Yes, don't worry. I'll definitely bring Renee back. I'll be back as soon as I can, so don't make that face, Rudd. Make sure to punish that guy for us. Also, I'm sorry that I can't fight by your side. With that, she entered the dimension. Rudd, watching her disappear, whispered, I'm sorry too. Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to watch this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider sharing my videos or channel with your friends who might also enjoy it. Your support means the world to me and helps my channel grow. Let's keep this community thriving together. Until next time, see you in the next video.